Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wodcast podcast. I'm Eddie Ift. It's about 3:20 a.m. I'm recording this. Why am I up this late? I have no idea. None. But I've got to get up early, so I'm not looking forward to this. Great show today. Great show. Our guest is a coach. He is a CrossFit owner of an affiliate. He is a former baseball player. He's a dad. He's just an all-around good dude. He's got that southern charm. And he is the coach of Michelle Basnett, who was on the show recently. I was down working out at their gym, put in a few days there. You know me, I work out hard for like 2 days out of a month. No, I've been taking some time off because I'm not healthy, but I'm going to get back there. I am. They're putting me on a steroid. I can't wait. I'm hoping I'm going to get jacked from it. Steroid inhaler. That's like the opposite of being like jacked. That's like the nerdiest thing you can do. Like, where's my inhaler? I take steroids, but not the kind that make me big. I take the kind that make me breathe. Yeah, that's what's going on. Hear that cough? That's my cough. Anyways, great show today. And I want to thank you guys for being the best listeners ever. All of you people that listen that don't give to the Patreon, where are you? How can you do this to me? I am trying to run a show here, and I need you as much as I need me to make this thing happen. So you need to go to patreon.com/wadcastpodcast or wadcastpodcast.com/Patreon and donate some money. Donate. You give like $5 a month, and you're going to get 5 episodes a month. Everyone else gets 4. You get 5. You get 5 episodes. I've done 3 of those so far. So maybe it isn't one every month. I'm getting to it. It's really hard. I'm going to stop making excuses. I got to build myself a studio. I'm going to make lots and lots of podcasts. I got to do one this week. It's right now we're in CrossFit Games time, so it's really tough to get good guests. Because everybody's so focused. Really good to play in the CrossFit Games at the same time as the Olympics, too. Anyway, Patreon, thank you guys. There are a bunch of people who are writing to me who are complaining. They are angry. They are angry that they have not received their Maya Pucks or Leopard Claw. I do not blame you. There has been a little bit of a shakeup over there at Maya Pucks. The Leopard Claw, I think, is discontinuing, and they're going to have a thing called the Leopard Paw. And if I am correct, they are working with the Ready State, which is the greatest company in the world. That's Kelly Starrett's company over there that you should download the app. I'm a big fan of that app. You want to rehab yourself, get the Ready State app. Anyways, they're making a Leopard Paw that's going to be branded with them. So, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, so I've seen a few people. Dave Painter, you are the winner, and we do need to get you on. You got one. Your stuff, we will take care of you. Dave Painter he's looking for his stuff. Okay, I want to tell you some other guys who have donated, who have not received their stuff. I think everyone else has. There's a few that have not. Dave Painter being one of them. Who did I see also? Misty Turner. Misty, we will make sure we get this out to you as soon as possible. And there's a couple others that we're looking. Patrick Nilsson. I think, yeah. Troy's going to get that out to you ASAP. And then Nick Hall. So those are the only, if you have not been mentioned and you have not received yours, we give one every single week. I appreciate all you guys that listen to the show. I want you to get your goods, get your stuff. So I think everyone else, we've given one every week. And I don't know, we've done like almost 500 episodes, but we've only been doing it for maybe 100 or so, 150 episodes. So Troy over there at Maya Pucks, really good dude. Amazing dude. Great friend of mine. Great company. I used the Maya Pucks on my father-in-law, and my father last week. I just think they're the best things in the world. The leopard claw, same thing, or now the leopard paw. And Stefan, Jeremiah, we've talked to you, so I think that's taken care of. But it's really nice that Troy does that they've sponsored the show and take care of our patrons, the people that take care of us. So just all you got to do is get in there, $5, and you could win. Just like, is it? I see. I don't see your first name, but I know you are. Where are you, dude? Come on. I know your last name's Saint Germain, because I know a comedian named Dan Saint Germain. Maybe you have the same name. Let's see. I just wanted to let you know you're the winner, dude. How about that? You won yourself a Myopux electronic muscle stimulator and a Adam Saint Germain. Adam, you were the winner. And you also got yourself a leopard paw. And that's like $450 worth of stuff. And you got that for donating $5. It's pretty awesome. Appreciate it. $5 a month. That's all you give. That's like, what's that, $60 a year? And you won yourself $450 worth of stuff. And you get an extra episode. Come on. This content's worth it. Everybody should be donating. Again, go to patreon.com/wadcastpodcast or wadcastpodcast.com/Patreon. What else is going on? I'm starting to tour again. I'm going to be in Huntington Beach. I got that coming up on August 20th. Big date there. I think August 6th and 7th, I am in, I'm going to be doing some stuff down near San Diego. Got a whole bunch of gigs coming up. So, and then the tour starts in September. The Back in the Saddle tour starts September, October, November, December, January. All those dates, eddief.com. And my brand new website we're building right now. Building a huge website. Huge. It's going to be massive, amazing. You're going to have to check it out. But go to Instagram now to find everything out. All my dates are there, tour dates. You can see videos of me doing stand-up. And come out and see me. Bring the whole gym. Send me a message. Do it. I will hook you guys up. It can be like a community event. So let me know, and I will take care of you. I'd love to have a whole CrossFit gym at my show. Arizona, they've done it. A couple other places they've done it. Out in Appleton, Wisconsin. It's really nice when I get a whole gym out there. I really, really enjoy that. So let's do that, guys. Message me. Easy to find. Just get me on @EddieF on Instagram. DM me. Slip into my DMs. You know what I mean. What else is going on? Yeah, CrossFit Games. Well, CrossFit hired a new president, or I don't know what they're calling him. What he's CFO, C whatever O. But anyways, he's a former Nike guy. So, what does that mean? Who knows? Who knows? Could be a little connection with Nike. But for now, it's NoBull and Reebok trying to sneak in there still. I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's just the games are coming up. I'm gonna give you my picks right now. The winner of the CrossFit Games is going to be Dave Castro. Oh wait, he can't win. Okay, the winner is gonna be. I'm gonna say, obviously for the women, it's gonna be Tia, and for the men, I'm gonna pull for Patrick Vellner. Even though I love Noah, too. He's a good dude. Sean Sweeney's a good guy. There's been many guys that have been on the show. But I think this new kid, I can't even remember his name again. I was talking about him all day today, and I can't remember his name. But here, I'll tell you. I'll just go to CrossFitGames.com and tell you. Because the website, you got to give it to CrossFit. Whoever works there, you could tell, like, they work out so hard. They do, like, everything in life that hard. Like, if you go to their website, it's just, you can't really criticize the CrossFit website. I just see they just released details of some of the events. Okay, let's see. Leaderboard. I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go with Patrick Vellner in first. In second, I am going to go with, this is going to be a weird one. How about this? I am going with Jason Hopper. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to go with Scott Panchik. Okay. And number 4, I'm going to go with, that's where Noah's going to come in. And, oh, no, I take that back. Number 3, BKG. BKG's coming in at number 3. Number 4, I don't know. 4 and 5. Janikowski, I think, could do well. And Scott Panchik, Noah. Those are my guys that I think are up there. Okay, so Vellner, Panchik, Janikowski, BKG, and the new guy, the new kid, Jason Hopper. So let's see how I did. Could be totally wrong. On the women's end, this is going to be some weird ones I'm going to pick. I want to see how well I do. And everybody's going to be like, you're an idiot, or, oh, my God, you're a genius. You picked those all. On the women, I'm going to go with Tia, obviously. And then I think Tia's going to finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th also. I think this could be 2 girls' years. Well, Carrie Pierce scares me. I mean, she looks like she's built like a brick shit house. Like, she just looks like she should win. The way she's like jacked. So I'm going to put her up there. But the 2 girls that I think might surprise everyone, Haley Adams, who I'm not even seeing on here. Why is Haley Adams not on here? She qualified. I know she did. Yes, Haley Adams and Amanda Barnhart. And then I think Brooke Wells will do very well too. But I'm cheering for Michelle Basnett because she was so nice on the show. Okay, so you heard my picks. Congratulations to Annie Thor's daughter. She had a baby like a day ago, and she's doing the show. She's in the games. That's ridiculous to me. I can't even have a baby, and I couldn't even qualify for like 65 and plus women. So there are some other guys in this that I want you to look out for. In the Masters division, our buddy Zach Forrest. I'm pulling for Zach. Can't believe how many OGs like Dan Bailey and Kyle Kasperbauer, and there's a whole bunch of them that are going to be out there. Zach, guys that have placed before in the lower divisions. And there's a woman that I want to mention who qualified for the Masters that I'm so, so proud of, and that's Lauren Gravatt. So I'll be cheering for Lauren. So good luck, guys. Very proud of you all. And watch Dave Hippenstall, who is going to win again in like whatever Masters division he's in. He's like in the 80 plus now. No, I don't know what he's in, but the guy's just a ridiculous freak of nature. And I'm looking forward to seeing him win. So should be fun. Starts day after tomorrow. I'm recording this. Oh, no, wait. It starts Wednesday. It starts Wednesday. So what else do I have to tell you? Is there anything else you need to know? I think we have a sponsor. Don't we have a sponsor? Come on, we got to have a sponsor. I know we have a sponsor. I love our sponsors. Let me see if I have one. Or 2. Or 7. Or 8. You guys are like, this is dead air, dude. Oh, I know who our sponsor is. And somebody just sent me a picture of them drinking it saying thanks. And I said, did you get the tingle? Did you get the tingle from Cellucor C4 Energy? C4 Energy gives you a tingle. Like when that beta alanine kicks in, you can feel it. You actually feel yourself tingle. That's how much this stuff is working. And that is because C4 Energy drink is it's powered by this thing called carnosine beta alanine Beta Power. It's got other key ingredients that support explosive energy, alertness, performance. The C4 Energy lineup is dominating the booming performance energy category across the country. They've got 10 amazing flavors built on zero sugar, zero sodium, zero carbs, zero calories. C4 Energy offers a delicious way to awaken your super and conquer your goals. They're going to awaken your super, people. Don't you want to awaken your super? Jeremy Lesniak sent me a picture of himself putting down a C4. If you're going to do it, the only way to do it is, you got to chug it. You just get that stuff down. And it tastes so good, though. Don't chug it. You can actually sip it and enjoy it. You can have it a couple times a day. Like I said, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, and it's not your average energy drink because it has been clinically studied it's proven that the ingredients in there support muscular endurance, hydration, physical performance for sugar-free energy you can feel. I was never a pre-workout guy, but I always would come up short where I wouldn't have energy because I didn't eat enough food, and all of a sudden I felt like I'd conk out during a workout. So I looked for the cleanest drink I could find. Here it is. It's got everything you need that's going to give you that boost of energy. It's got all kinds of crazy ingredients. It's got your caffeine. It's got the carnosine beta-alanine. If you don't know what that is, that's stuff that Matt Fraser said gives him an extra lung. Matt has like 3 lungs. Do you want to be like Matt? Be like Matt. So get yourself some beta-alanine. This is a good way to get it. It's got citrulline malate. That supports an increase in nitric oxide levels. And it's got beta power I can never say it. Betanine, whatever. That comes from beets. Everybody knows about the beet stuff and why beets are good for you and the endurance they give you. Beta power, betanine. It helps to support hydration, better physical performance. And then it's got, like I said, no crap. There's no artificial anything in there. And it tastes great. It's got all kinds of different flavors. They've got cherry limeade, orange slice. And now, if you want our discount code, go to Wodcast. I think you're going to get 35% off. If you go to c4energy.com and use the code Wodcast when you buy it. That's C4Energy, the letter C, 4energy.com. Use the code Wodcast, and then you can get yourself like 35% off or something. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that's what's going on. But try this stuff out and let me know what you think. Let's get to the show. Are you ready? Let's do it. I've got you. I nailed you down. It took forever.
That's the story of my life right there.
Oh, man, you've got a busy life.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it.
Just living the dream. I think you understand very, very well having a business, having kids, and all that.
I couldn't run a gym though. That's like a circus.
Yes, we've always said that. I think after our second, we said, hey, after that, the gym is our third kid, and now we decided to have that third kid, and now the gym's our fourth kid. So
I tell my wife that she has 3 kids. We have 2 kids, but I'm the third. I'm like,
yes.
What's it like raising 3 children?
That's exactly. Like, I literally said that conversation with my oldest.
I threw a tantrum yesterday.
I'm sure.
I threw a tantrum yesterday because I wanted to go jet skiing. And I was like, the kids didn't want to go. I was like, we need to go jet skiing right now. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm just like the oldest child. And I'm like,
that sounds about like my life.
Well, you just had a third baby, right?
Yes. Yeah. So she was born June 22nd. So
how's she doing?
She's doing great. So she was 33 weeks. So she's our third, but she's also our third preemie. So we're supposed to be in the hospital for a longer period of time, but she came home quick. So she's really responded really well. She's home. She's actually been the most, I'm not going to want to say this, but she's been the most low key of all the babies so far. So
just wait.
I know, I'm not going to wait. Well, at least I got that for a few, maybe till about 12 or 13, and then we'll see what happens.
You got a lot of space in between them though, don't you?
Yeah. So the oldest, Rush, he'll turn 14 here in the fall. Jet's 8 and will turn 9 later this year. And then we got that brand new one.
What's with you and preemies?
It's just the way we roll. We don't like waiting around. We just need to go.
Yeah.
We get them out. So, so my wife's got a bicorneal uterus. And so we didn't know that until the first one. So after that, they could kind of plan around it and know, hey.
So is that a common thing?
Not her setup. So it does happen quite a bit, but her way her setup happens is you got like one really big side and one small side. And so you hope that the baby kind of gets into that big side and can have a little bit longer time, but there's not a full uterus for them to grow in.
Oh, wow.
So no matter what, they're coming early. But it's just kind of dependent on how long they can kind of cater and kind of keep her kind of pushing forward until that baby's going to get here. So we didn't know that until Rush, the oldest. And then after that, we kind of had an idea. So they're coming early, but it's trying to like, how long can they stay in the oven?
I don't know how you do it. I felt like the second one was harder than the first one because I was able to kind of stop and look around and see what was going on. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is terrifying. And
it's scary.
The first time you're just like, what's happening? Oh my God. Like and all of a sudden they throw a baby at you.
Yeah.
But, and, I don't like, more power to you. I don't know how you do it because I was scared. Like, my wife did a C-section. It wasn't an emergency. It was, she's too posh to push. And she's just like, I don't want to do that. Like, just like, she just had them slice it open and take it out. And then you have to do the C-section the second time because you did and I was like, I wonder if they could put a zipper in and just put a zipper there and just like wait a few years and just like unzip it and be like, let's take it.
And pull it right up. Yeah. No,
I say that as a joke. I say that as a joke, but like 20 years from now, they're going to be like, no, do you have the zipper? I have the zipper. You got to get the zipper. It's the best new thing.
You know how tough your wife and Chris and my wife are. They're literally getting gutted. Right, to get cut open. Think about that. Like, they're getting gutted and then put back together and like, you know what? Go on. Just go on with life from there.
That also tells you how bad it is to have a child. That you're like, no, just gut me. Just go right through there. Just cut it open and pull the baby out.
That's exactly right.
It looked like Total Recall when I saw it.
Yes. So I looked over this time. It's like it's amazing to kind of peek over that curtain and take a look.
You did the peek? You did the peek? I did the peek too.
What the am I looking at right now?
I regretted the peek.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And you know what?
See the baby. After the fact, once the baby's out, great. I don't want to see how the sausage is made.
I did 2 peeks, both kids. Second time I was like, I thought I learned my lesson the first time.
No.
And then they're having me like weigh the baby with them. And I look back and I see my wife's like guts up on her chest. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my, I handed the baby back to the nurse and I was like, put my wife back together, please.
Somebody needs to fix this.
Look, I've said it a billion times. Women are so much like any guy that's like sexist, that's like men are the best and men do. I'm like, dude, go just watch a delivery. Just
go in there. Just spend a minute. Spend a minute.
Yeah, pregnancy, delivery, breastfeeding. It's just.
Oh God.
I have a buddy who goes. He goes, I have friends of mine. He's like, a woman holds a baby for 9 months. He goes, I have friends that'll like have a bag and be like, can you hold this for a second? I'm like, no, I can't.
No.
Yeah.
No, she's a trooper, man. She's, because especially if they're doing breastfeeding, I mean, they're up with all the bottle. Like right now, she's still preemie, so we're still doing bottle feedings, but she's up with her every 3 hours and doing that.
Right.
Prepping her for the fact that they'll go back to breastfeeding here shortly as she gets a little bigger. But man, think about the hours you're putting on. Like you get maybe a 3 hour window to feed, pump, sleep.
Well, I got tricked into believing that I had to prep the baby every time. We had like a doula that told us that, and it sucked. It sucked because I was obligated then. So the second baby, I was like, no, this is all bullshit. Like that lady lied to us. We're not.
She lied to you.
We're not doing that again. No. But your wife's a trainer though, right?
Yes. Yeah. So and she's co-owner and coaches, personal training. She's already back.
So this is like nothing for her. I've noticed all CrossFit women are like, I got this shit.
She was working out the day her water broke.
Wow.
So this kind of recovery process for her has been relatively easy compared to the last two, but I totally credit to the fact that she was doing her normal. She works out, like
Right.
most CrossFit women, 2 to 3 times a day. And so she was working out, doing a full workout right up until a couple hours before her water broke. And I think that led to a really fast recovery for her as well.
Wow.
But they're just insane.
That's pretty impressive. Did you guys get a snoo?
Oh, that was definitely a topic of discussion, a big one. No, we did not.
Okay.
Yeah, we still might get one. We're probably going to rent one. I don't know if
that's the best way to do it, or borrow one from a friend, and then I don't know why they want it back. I think we got a friend's, and I will tell you, it's the difference between having a car and a horse and buggy.
Really,
that's changed. I could do the commercials for snoo.
Really,
because I would just get on and scream my head off and be like, if you don't have a snoo, you're a fucking idiot.
That's right.
It is life-changing, but you almost feel like you're cheating. You feel like it's like getting a Roomba, and you're like, wait, I don't have to vacuum. You basically have a Roomba raising your child. Like there's a robot that is holding your child and going like rocking it and soothing it, and it puts it to sleep. And our first child, I would have to hold it for hours and hours and hours. Second baby, I'm like, hey, snoo, later. And the kid would be like, right to sleep and sleep all night. And that kid sleeps unbelievably now.
Yeah.
So
that's what we heard. And I'm like, with like you said, with 3 in the gym, I'm okay. If it's cheating, it's cheating. I'm okay with that. I think we'll.
You have every right to.
We'll survive.
I think they're about.
I think we'll go ahead.
I think they're about 1,500 new, but you're only going to use it for I guess like a month or something or 2 months. I forget how many months it is, and it's like you don't want to spend that much money for something you're only going to use for a couple months. So the rental, do it today. Do it today, and you'll be like, "This is."
We're on. Chris did all her research, and she was all over it. So she was what it found and kind of said, I guess the word on the street was that rent it versus buy it. It'll.
My wife's in one of those little mafias of like neighborhood wives, like they have like they secretly talk on text and stuff, and they were all kind of pregnant around the same time, so it was like this snoo moved around, and it was like you gotta have the snoo. And when we got
to be with the end kid, you gotta have the snoo.
When I got the snoo, I was like, she kept talking about it. I was like, fuck your snoo. As soon as we got the snoo, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. So
that's right.
You were in South Africa before or after the baby was born?
Fantastic summer. So, so we knew the girl's coming, we didn't know it was a girl. We knew the baby was going to be coming early. So we waited to about a week and a half before South Africa, which was the very beginning of June. So doctors are like, hey, everything looks okay right now. There shouldn't be anything really in the next couple of weeks. Booked the ticket. We were there the last weekend of May, came back the very beginning of June. And then she came, maybe 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow. And then, so just to let the listener know, you're down there because you coach Michelle Basnett, who qualified for the games this year, and she qualified out of South Africa. What was that? What was that called? The South African? What do they call their?
So Fittest in Cape Town.
What was it?
It's called the Fittest in Cape Town.
Okay.
So we were there in 2019 when it was a sanctional, and then this year is held as a semifinal.
Okay.
It's a great event, obviously super location. Last time we went down, we were able to actually, give ourselves a little bit of a buffer, go down, get prepared, be down there for a little bit. Time zone, obviously, big difference. So we were there for about 2 weeks. This time it was a 6-day trip for me. Michelle went down early, but I got down there, flew down, a day and a half flying, got down there for competition days, then flew right back the next day because we wanted to make sure I was home just in case, which was a whirlwind trying to fly halfway across the world and do all that in a 6-day window.
How many people went with you guys? Was it just you and Michelle, or?
So Michelle and I went down. We actually had a few members from the gym who came down.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Then her dad and mom came down. So we had about 6 people in the
that's great
total.
that she had like a
and so And I've been there in 2019. She's got family still there because she was born there. Her parents both were born and grew up there. So she had a pretty big support team there. She'd made friends through being there in 2019 and just having traveled there before. So even within the competition itself, she was very familiar with most of the athletes. Obviously the guys putting the competition on, we knew the local gym. So having been down there a couple of times really helped make it, despite the travel, it still felt like it felt good to be there. You didn't feel too kind of outcast or kind of outside. So.
I saw her videos that she took part in. I talked to her about this on the show. Yeah. That she took part in all the fun things to do in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Did you partake in any of that?
Whoa, let's clarify.
the bungee jumping, the shark diving.
Last time. No. So that was last time we went down. No. So the only thing I did this is 2019. I did we did some cage diving with sharks.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah, I've done it. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Yes, freezing water, and it is a cool experience. And once you get settled into knowing that they're not getting through the cage, it's pretty cool. Yeah. But that first few minutes, and just obviously the shock from the cold water. And
I touched a shark.
Did you really?
I touched a shark. I asked the guy. I was asking the guy so many questions. I think he was hoping I'd get eaten. Like the guy was so mad.
Yeah, go ahead. Put your arm out.
Later in the day, I jumped off the boat and back in the boat. I said, if I jumped off right now, I said, would I die? I go, what? He goes, yeah, there's probably a shark hiding underneath the boat. Like he was just getting so tired. I'm like, I swear to God, this is a true story.
Yeah.
When you go to the place, did you have breakfast before you went at the place?
Yes. Yeah. They serve you breakfast. Yeah.
They serve you while they were serving us breakfast. There was a piano in the room. And I went over to the piano. And I sat down. It's like an old piano, and I just went to the keys. I can't play anything. I started going doo doo, doo doo.
That's all you needed.
Doo 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 doo. And I thought it was like, and I kind of thought being a comedian, like this is too easy. This is low hanging fruit. Everybody that's been here has done that.
Yeah.
And they're just like another one of these idiots, like. And the one of the dive people or whatever came over and slammed their hands on the keys and they go, we're trying to run a business. And I just remember that we're trying to run a business. And I was like, dude,
piano, and we're going to sharks.
Yeah. And so then the guy he took a bunch of comedians out, and by 4 hours into it, he wanted to kill himself.
It's like, I'm done. Can I just jump in with the sharks?
Yeah, he was. But
you guys figured out how to get home.
But I tell everybody that goes, you have to do it. I'd say it's one of the greatest experiences of my life.
It was pretty cool. That was interesting because we that whole day, that was a Monday after the competition. We did the entire coast. We did that. We went Simonstown. We see all these penguins. We did a whole bunch of stuff, and I flew out that night. So it was an action-packed day that started with shark diving. It saw the entire kind of going up the eastern coast there off Cape Town, and it was just absolutely beautiful drive, absolutely gorgeous. But you definitely have to. I mean, it was a wonderful experience.
So pretty. I was just talking to a friend from South Africa today. They've got some serious civil unrest there right now. Yeah, it's out of control. Really, really bad. But how was the COVID situation down there when you were there?
So it wasn't bad. I think it was kind of escalating in a macro side of things, but for us, getting in was not, and getting out was not much of an issue. We just had to show a negative test, and realistically, that was more going through Amsterdam. So going through Amsterdam, we had to show a negative, and coming back into Cape Town to just show a piece of paper, and then getting out was pretty easy. But from what I heard too, and from the South Africans, it's a struggle for them. So what we could fly out easily and get home to the United States, they couldn't. So they were in the red, whatever it's called, the red list when we were there. So them traveling out was an issue, but coming back wasn't bad. For the competition itself, it was relatively low key. They didn't have any spectators, so that was kind of a last minute thing. So there were a few people around, but less than 100 people were there, kind of watching, or with either family members or kind of support team for different athletes. But other than that, we really didn't see much difference even from here. But from what I was understanding, I think things were starting to kind of escalate for them, and now they're at a kind of a breaking point. So
I'm wondering what they're going to do with the games as far as getting internationals in, Because I've got friends that are like, I got a Brazilian friend who tried to come here and he could not get into the United States.
Right.
There's countries that they're just like, sorry, you ain't coming.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, they had to do like 2-week layovers in kind of like a middle ground. So whether it was Mexico or somewhere else, spend 2 weeks, which is not, one, financially is not a great thing, and two, is not a great thing from a training and everything, just from a stability standpoint, having to break up for 2 weeks, and then that let alone, like you said, traveling across the world from Brazil or wherever it is, from Europe. But that's unfortunately kind of the price they have to pay right now, which is not.
I know, it's not hard enough. Making the games, B,
right.
affording the games. Like, I mean, like, it should be like,
let's do another massive hurdle.
If you made it to Madison, you won. Like, you got there. You got
like
there.
I talk about that with Michelle, even going to South Africa. Like, one of the biggest things one of the toughest things, there's one spot coming out of Africa, which is tough, right? That doesn't leave a lot of room for error over the course of a weekend,
right?
Because there's good talent, and so then throwing that you had to fly halfway across the world, get yourself settled, and then go compete. Where most people were coming, 15, 20 minutes away, maybe, some of them maybe a couple hours, but relatively smaller travel schedule to kind of get down there, travel time to get down there. And I told her, I mean, I'm proud of her just to be there and compete and execute the way she needed to. Obviously, you can't control the number in the end. So whether she won or not, that's out of her control. But to go out there and be able to give full effort it's massive. So I can then appreciate these guys who are traveling from Europe and Brazil and from, Asia to try and get over here. And then, first of all, just like you said, all those three things, just to get there is massive. And then to go out and be able to compete is a whole nother ballgame.
Have you coached any other athletes that have gone to the games?
So I've coached Masters Athlete, and we went in 2017.
Who was that?
Coached a bunch Donovan Carroll.
What age group was that?
So he was in the 50 to 54.
Is Donovan the one I met at the gym the other day?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
good guy.
Yes, yeah, Donovan's a good dude.
Yeah, really good guy. Drives the Polaris and the big truck.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that guy.
They were just, I believe they were just up in West Virginia four-wheeling, so they're having some fun right now. He's enjoying life. He's living that master's life. So good dude. And we've had quite a few go through when this last kind of type of season, we had sanctionals. So we coached quite a few athletes who went through in sanctionals. But this will be our first elite athlete going to the games. Yeah,
wow, that's amazing. People don't understand how difficult it is. Like that there are basically 45, men and 45 women around the world that are going to this. I had a couple friends and a cousin and everything trying to make the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
And you see how difficult it is for them and just how elite they are. It got down to this one kid, my friend's coaching a kid, and he was in the 50-meter swimming, and he had like the fastest time. He broke every high school record and, had the second fastest time in the country at one point, and then he was bumped back. And you have to finish top 2 in your event in the whole United States to go to this. And there's like guys that have gone before and, just so many, the NCAA champion, the high school, just to make it to that level. And CrossFit actually is more difficult than some of these sports because I always talk about something like luging. How many people did you know that luged? Like
growing up, they were on the luge team, the high school.
People were like,
team.
oh, after high school, I'm going to luge practice. So not to diminish anything that those people do.
No, but exactly.
They are very elite. Ryan Fisher, but Ryan Fisher was a skeleton guy. It's a very elite group of people, but CrossFit, it's like your competition numbers are like. There are so many people competing for this, and when you make it to just incredible. So
no, I'd say all the time, like, so think about how elite you have to be just to finish last at the games. Like you're in the top 1 of the 1% just to finish last at the CrossFit Games.
And whenever I talk to these guys, guys that have like their highest finish was like 11th or something, they're like, I'm not one of those guys. I'm like, no, you're just the 11th. Fittest person in the world.
Just small thing. Small
and it's so weird most of them, I would say almost all of them are super
Right.
humble about it. It's kind of creepy. Like
Understood.
it's the one sport where we don't really have like, the NFL football players that are like, I'm the most badass guy in the, or like
Right.
MMA, I'll kick
Yeah.
no one other than Hunter McIntyre.
I was gonna say, yeah, you have one.
No
Yeah.
one does it. And
No.
Hunter does it for comedic value
Well,
completely.
exactly. You can see, yeah, there's a reason behind it.
He's poking the bear. He wants attention, and so he's like, "This is a good way to do it." And
Right.
people lost their minds
I
when
know.
he started doing it. It's like
It's
CrossFit
not
is
the
this.
culture. It's just
Yeah,
not the culture.
no,
It's,
there's like
even on that side, when you look at the sport versus like, hey, if you walked into any other box, like you walk into a box, generally it's like very friendly and upbeat, and they're going to welcome you right in and say, hey, let's do a workout, let's smash this together. So when you think about it, the big picture, if you have an elite athlete, it's still expectations, or kind of the idea is like, hey, we know you're better. We know you can do Fran. Half the time I'm going to do it, but you need to rub that in our face, right? Like,
yeah.
That's not the way it's going to go down.
It would be funny though. I'd love for someone to like finish in like 1/10 the time and just point at me and be like, "Suck it."
Do it. Your turn.
We don't really have anyone like that in some guys in comedy. I remember one time a guy walked off stage and I had to go on after him, and he just pointed in my face and went, "Follow that." And I was like, and the guy's a total douchebag. I'm not going to say his name, but he ended up getting his because he was like, he was put in a project where it was observed by the whole world, basically, that he was like that. And so it came back to him. But I just remember him like pointing at me like, "Follow that." And comedy's like an artistic thing where there's no competition. Right. And it was like, oh God.
I would hope that someone, if they did that, it was like completely sarcastic, right? Then I could appreciate his
humor. It would be hilarious. And I've had guys do that, like, and that's funny. But this
like just blew the set, like completely it sucked, and they're like, follow that.
Yeah, this was total serious. He pointed at me like good luck, gift. But you have an athletic background. You played baseball?
I did, yeah. So I played collegiate. Started in Florida and then finished at Greensboro, and then played summer leagues around kind of up and down the East Coast. And that's kind of what led me to fitness way back when. I started when I was 13, kind of getting in the gym, just trying to get bigger, stronger, faster for baseball.
What'd you play in baseball?
What's that?
What position? Hold on, let me. I'm getting a message and I've got to stop it. What position?
So I was a right fielder, and then arm kind of fell apart. My last few years played first base and DH. So I could swing the bat a little bit, and that's what kind of helped me stay in college, stay on the team for 4 years. But it was a good ride. It was fun, and it definitely has led to a lot of attributes that I see now, kind of running the business, and also understand. I think baseball is a great sport in regards to learning how to fail, and kind of understanding that there's just opportunity.
I did that at a very young age with baseball. Yeah. I found that sport really hard.
It is. And so you look at it, with that old adage, new forever is like, hey, if you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're an all-star. So
that's true.
That's the only sport it really falls through. And so that lends well to.
I was an ADHD kid, and baseball's not a good sport for that.
It's tough
because you'll be out in the outfield and you'll just be like looking at what's going on. All of a sudden you hear crack, and you're like, where's that ball? Hope it's not on its way to me because I didn't see it. And and a couple times it did. I got hit in the face, and I could bat because the total focus was like, and I wasn't good, but I mean I was like better batter than I was a fielder, but fielding, because I found baseball to be like, it takes a certain type of person to play baseball, and it's this like this real focus, and I didn't have that at all.
No, and if it makes you feel any better, I did have a little bit of that focus, but I still got hit in the head.
Yeah,
many times. So
did you ever get hit? Did you ever get hit batting? Like really hit, like a bad one?
Yeah, I think I held. Was at Greensboro. I held a record. I got hit by a pitch like I think 13 times in one season.
Holy shit!
So as a left-hander, and I kind of like kept that elbow sitting over the plate just a little bit, kind of on purpose, which was probably not a smart thing long term for my health because that elbow eventually was had arthritis in it, but just kept getting hit on that elbow. You just kind of turn it in slightly and take a hit by pitch, especially if you're in trouble. And you can get away with it, then why not kind of lean over the plate a little bit and take one? So,
geez, what you'll do for one base?
One base. I do remember playing an all-star game in Maryland, and I was facing a lefty, and this guy was throwing probably like mid-90s.
Oh, God.
He just took one right off the top of my head. So thankfully I didn't feel anything, and I was like, thank God, I'm going to, I'd rather take that than face this guy.
Wait, so you didn't feel a thing when it hit your helmet?
No. So that time I got lucky because it kind of grazed right off the top of the hat. So if you get hit in the ear hole, big difference.
I can't imagine what that would feel like.
No, it does not feel good. Even taking the elbow. So it kind of depends on how it hits, like through the shoulder or the elbow. It can be ridiculously painful. And
hey guys, you want to get naked? That sounded creepy, didn't it? Seriously, I want you to get naked. I really want you to get naked. Does that sound creepy? Does that sound like I should be me too? No, I don't want you to get naked like that. I don't want you to get naked. I want you to get naked protein. Naked nutrition is, like everything else I believe in, the healthiest, cleanest stuff out there. What is it? Well, some guy was looking around. He was a former college athlete. He was like, hey, all this protein powder has a lot of crap in it. How do I get the cleanest protein I can get? So he started his own company. His focus was on better health outcomes for people that were using it. Transparency. It's got the fewest ingredients. It's just like a few ingredients. It's pretty much whey. That's it. And then no artificial additives, better absorption. It's grass-fed whey protein. It's one ingredient, grass-fed whey sourced from small Northern California dairy farms. And you know why you're supposed to have grass-fed. The omega-3 fatty acids come into the grass-fed cows through the grass they eat. Can't get it other ways. And that is going to lower your inflammation. It's great. It's just there's a host of reasons why you should be eating grass-fed meat, grass-fed whey, grass-fed dairy. This is it. Did I mention how delicious it tastes? It really does. I use the chocolate. I make a chocolate peanut butter, almond milk, banana smoothie all the time for me and my kids. Kids do naked. Oh, that sounds weird. But they do. They drink the naked protein all the time. And they are trying to help you out right now. So if you want to save 10% on your first order, go to nakednutrition.com. That's nakednutrition.com. Use the code WODCAST10. You're going to get 10% off. I literally buy a giant barrel of this shit every month. Like I house this stuff. I do about two shakes a day, and the kids do, one each. So go to, like I said, nakednutrition.com and use the code WODCAST10. You're going to get 10% off. It's nutrition with nothing to hide. Nakednutrition.com. So I know, guys, I had a friend shatter his elbow doing that. I mean, they had to put like so much metal in there afterwards. Yeah. But I've always wondered about, and we know football, the helmet hits and everything. Do guys experience concussions from the baseball?
I guess so. You'd probably be an outlier, though. It'd have to be some kind of like acute incident where, like, maybe sliding your knee, head first slide, maybe your head caught a knee. Potentially with a baseball, I don't think it hits.
Really?
It hits the same way.
Because I just can't imagine a 90-mile-an-hour thing hitting me in the head.
It does not feel good. Typically, especially if you get like in the back of the shoulder. Now, I got lucky with that one. But that's still, when I'm 43, that probably happened when I was, I'm going to say I was 19 years old, and I still remember it.
You grew up in North Carolina?
So I grew up in Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
And then I've been in North Carolina now since 98. So this is home.
So after Greensboro, you stayed down there?
Yeah. So Greensboro, and I stayed down here, moved to Charlotte in, about 2000. And then met my wife at the time. So 2001, she moved. She's from here. She's born and raised here, but she was at school at UNC Charlotte. So met her, and then now we live in the Cornelius Davidson area. We've been here for 20 years now.
It's a beautiful area. It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I come here because of the in-laws and just really like it. We spend about a month in the summer and then a couple weeks in the winter. And my wife a little more than me.
It's home. And then you compare like where I was originally in Florida. You don't get any of this kind of weather. Than DC. It's just DC, it's not where I prefer to be, but it's definitely a great place. It's changed a lot right here in the lake. It's changed a lot in the last 20 years, which is fantastic. Cause obviously running a gym, there's a huge influx of people where this used to be a really, really small town. But it also has, the attribute or the kind of the infrastructure has grown too. So you have restaurants, you've got access to shops, all that kind of stuff has really, really grown over the last 20 years as well, as the population density has gone up as well. So,
well, you have an excellent gym. I mean, your gym is awesome. And you did what I used to tell people to do 10, 11 years ago when I saw, I think I saw the forest through the trees kind of thing where there you've got your separate thing that your wife runs, which is kind of a hybrid.
Yep.
And I used to get so much shit from like Kool-Aid drinking CrossFitters that are like, no, CrossFit, scalability, it can work for everyone. You need to do it this way. And if you do it this way, women will join and women will love it. And I was like, good luck. Good luck. You're gonna miss that audience.
Agreed, man. So one of the things I love about CrossFit is it's one of the buy-ins from me. Obviously, I love I love CrossFit, but the idea of owning an affiliate, let's go down that road, is that I love that it allowed me the freedom to do whatever I want within that scope, right? To define fitness for our members and not be locked in to say, this is what you have to do. This is the only thing you can do, and evolve your business structure, evolve the business, evolve the structure, evolve kind of the who's walking in our doors. And that's where the hybrid fit has been massive, because people walk in and it's less intimidating for whatever reason. We all know it. CrossFit has some intimidation factor to it. Sure. I understand that. And so having the hybrid fit, having people be able to walk in and do that has been a fantastic addition to the gym. And it also allows our CrossFitters who've been doing that for a long time an outlet too, something different to do.
Right.
There's
definitely days where I'd like to walk in there and go, you know what? I need this, not that right now.
You have a choice. You have a choice. There's no wrong answer.
So you've been around since your shirt says 2013. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So we affiliated in 2013, actually here in our garage.
When you affiliate, is there any rules other than, hey, you've got to have this name that no one else has? Right. Is there any rule about don't start a hybrid fit next door or nothing?
No. So literally we were in our garage first, and we upfitted our old building, and across the street from me, literally maybe 100 yards, another CrossFit opened.
Wow.
So I could see it from my front door, literally right down. Then I'm like, okay, you got to do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what we got to do. So what that taught me early, focus on the people inside your wall. Don't worry about what's going on outside, right? And you focus on that. Ultimately, that's where success is going to come. So.
Yeah, when I would see friends of mine get upset about gyms too close, I'd always go, if you were an MMA instructor, or coach, or a yoga instructor, would you be mad that there's a yoga instructor that lives next door or two doors down? Like, there's a whole world out there of people to get to. You're not going to be able to get to enough people.
You're not. And whether it was, what's the rowing place called? What's that? Orange Theory. I can't remember. So it was an Orange Theory or a boot camp or a Gold's Gym. Okay, I can't control that. And ultimately, and I don't mean this to sound arrogant or cocky, I was like, they can't do what you do. Like you're an individual. And so if I go out and do our, work our tail off and do our game plan and focus on the people inside our gym, they can't replicate that. And I don't want to. I don't need to worry about what they're doing because it's not impacting our day to day. And so you look at that, it really was a good lesson early to say, stay humble, stay inside, stay focused on what's right in front of you, not worry about, because again, you could look, and nowadays too, with Instagram and everything else, you could just look at the world out there and be like, oh, the world's falling apart. There's no way I can do this. They're doing X, they're doing this, and starting to copy and replicate what everyone else is doing. And so,
did you stay open during COVID?
So we closed down. Michelle again. So I've been traveling. So, we were under the sanctional series last year when all this happened. And I had been gone each month with different athletes. I was in Montreal for the sanctional up there. and they canceled it. We flew up on Thursday. They canceled it. We flew back on Friday.
Oh, wow.
The following Wednesday in Mecklenburg County here in Charlotte, they closed down all the gyms. So we closed down for a little bit while we immediately transitioned over to this. We were Zooming and then continued function. We gave out all of our equipment. And then I believe about June, we were able to open up again outside. So we completely, the gym,
Yeah,
you've got up front.
You've got a great area for that, a great parking
We got
lot.
really lucky. So we put that awning in maybe 2015. It gave us 1,000 feet outside. Then we went ahead and extended that further with some shade sails, and gave us another couple thousand square feet, and just started doing parking lot workouts until we could reopen. I believe it's September we were able to get back up.
Any of your members get sick?
Yes, from it was never internal. It was always
right.
Yeah, so we come back, but it was, we kind of go through the process and kind of let everybody know. But
there was never. What I'm saying is, it's hard to say. Like I have a cold right now. I don't know where the hell I got it.
Yeah, exactly. So we never. As far as
I can guess.
Never had anything bad.
I can guess, but if I was at the gym and 30 people at the gym got it, we could go, hey, that was an event. And I'm just curious because I haven't yet. A, I haven't found a gym where that's happened. No. And B, I haven't found a gym where I have talked to people that have had members that they've lost members from COVID, but so rare. And so rare to even hear them hospitalized. I had this argument that I didn't talk about it with Rosa, and I had heard Glassman started it and then didn't get to finish. Mm-hmm. But I thought, what a great way, because CrossFit has access to all their affiliates, to kind of do some research and go, how many of your members have gotten COVID? How many events do you think happened in your gym? How many of your members were hospitalized? How many of your members died? And then you have these stats to go, well, we have X amount of people that go to CrossFit, and we have 0.0000, compare it to the national average or the global average or whatever, and then say, look, come work out. Being healthy will keep you from dying. What a great, because I saw somebody put a sign outside their gym that said, CrossFit, we're the cure for COVID. And it's that's a bold statement.
Yeah.
With no proof behind it. You have no data.
Right.
But if you could have the data very easily, because CrossFit HQ has access to that.
They could literally draw that out. I think, in reality too, I got a little girl next to me.
Watching the monitor?
Yeah. Chris, my trooper went to work. She was a coach.
So you have one of the babies right there? Are you have the baby right there?
Baby's right here, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's hanging out with me. She's good. So I think, the reality is we all know, if you're leading a healthy lifestyle, your movement's kind of an emphasis. Most people within the CrossFit world have some kind of conscience about the nutrition as well.
Sure.
Minimal supplementation and maybe understanding kind of the difference between taking vitamin D, especially depending on where they're at and the type of time of year. We're leading lifestyles that would lend to, one, probably not, you can't completely negate COVID, right? They might get it, but they're going to most likely survive or not show symptoms. But you also have two, which is interesting from a gym standpoint. I think the community is huge, right? So these people who are conscious of that, at least I feel like within our world, the reason we never saw any outbreaks because people would, hey, I'm not feeling good. I'm not going to go to the gym.
Right.
These people, I care about these people because this is my community. This is my tribe. I'm not going to put them at risk. And again, that's not a blanket statement, but for the most part, that's kind of the thought process I had. And I feel like that's a big reason why we never really saw it. And if somebody did, hey, I got back from, traveling on Tuesday, I wasn't feeling good. They emailed us Tuesday night and said, hey, I'm not coming to the gym. Here's what's going on. Just in case, I want to let you guys know.
Right.
And that's what we saw more so than anything else, which
we were kind of like that too, where we traveled cross country. When we came back, we drove last year. We told all our friends, we were so careful, but we were just stay away from us. We're going to take 10 days or whatever it was, 2 weeks. We think we're fine, and we were fine. Right now, I've got this thing. I've been sick for a month. That's why you haven't seen me in the gym. Yeah. I was sick for a couple days. I had a cold. Turned into this I have some kind of asthmatic response or something. But it's just
Right.
So I'm not contagious. There's no, I have
Right. Nothing
nothing,
going on. It's just
but I have to get on a plane tomorrow. And my fear is that I start coughing because I have this like allergy or asthma or something. And the whole plane's going to be like, get that asshole off the plane. Yeah. And I'm going to be like,
So I wasn't even sick going to South Africa, but that was my biggest concern is that I start coughing. I'm like, oh, this dickhead gets on the plane. Coughing around all of us.
This will scare the shit out of everyone on the plane.
Yes. It's become like the new norm, like in the gym, is if you cough, like it's not COVID. I'm like, no, stop. We know that.
I told my wife yesterday, I was like, I think I'm going to rent a car and drive back to California just because everyone on the plane is going to want to murder me.
It's going to hit you. It's going to be scared shitless of you.
And she's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, yes, I can. She just doesn't want to fly with our 2-year-old because he's a psychopath.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, put him in the car with me. We'll drive together. It'll only take us 3 days. We'll go nonstop. I'll give him some coffee. I'll let him drive a little.
It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. I'll do the pedals. He does the wheel.
I really don't want to get on this plane because I'm like, people are going to freak the fuck out. They're going to be like, okay, that guy's dying of COVID right now.
Yes, thanks for giving it to all of us.
I'm going to double, triple mask, wrap my head in a turban, and maybe wear a hijab. I don't know what I'm doing.
It seems legit.
If I came in like a hazmat suit and sat down,
it'd be fine. No, nothing to see here. Nothing going on.
I'm so mad that she's making me go. She's like, you're gonna take a couple decongestants. I'm like, oh yeah, that'll do it.
But you know what you're gonna say. It's the same thing I'd say to Kristen. Okay, deal, fine, whatever. We're good.
I'm friends with Dr. Drew. I've had him on the show here a couple times.
Yeah.
And I called him the other day, and I'm like, here's what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're fine. And he's like, it's going to go away. You just need to, take a little medicine. And he's like, I'm like, I've had it for a month. He's like, yeah, these things sometimes linger.
Yeah.
And he had COVID. And he's talking to me, and he told me that his language skills have gotten better from COVID. And I'm like, what? He's like, I went to Greece. I could, speak Greek. He's like, I think COVID did it to me. I'm like, all right, I don't trust anything you say anymore.
No, you're out.
You're out. You just told me you got increased language skills from Greek.
I'm pretty sure COVID just destroyed all your brain cells.
Pretty sure I have COVID now and I'm dying. So how were you ever a competitor in CrossFit?
Barely. So I started, let's see, and not a very, no, it's kind of realistic. No, I was an athlete my whole life. So I tried competing, but
it seems like it would come easy for you. You're like,
it was fun, and I could compete. I did some. I was able to limited success. I was able to qualify in the Masters in 2018. I went up to Seattle and to competition. Did well out there, but ultimately,
you got it too late.
Life, and then on up, really taking off and working with athletes kind of around the country. It was like, I've got limited time on this earth. I got kids everywhere. I got the gym.
Right.
The reality was, I don't want to train like that right now. I want to train to stay healthy and fit. So. When I started, let's see, it's been 10 plus years now, but I'm 43. So even 10 years ago, still 32, 30, 31. Yeah. I was an old, even then, old guy CrossFitter. So
I keep saying back then that wasn't a big deal as much as now.
No. Good luck. It's not the same now.
Now it's like, I see someone like 25, 26, and I'm like, oh, you're getting old.
You're pushing that line, right?
Like the fact that Fraser stayed as long as he did, and Froning is still smashing it.
Yeah. Well, then you got the outliers. You got Sam Briggs, who's just a mega ridiculous athlete. Who's what? I think she's 30. She's 38, 39 now, and just still smashing it. So.
But I mean, I see these young kids, and I'm just like, yeah, it looks like that's where it is. I mean, Michelle's what, 24?
She's 24, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's walking right into her prime right now, and doing it. And we kind of laid out a line for her to do this because she started in our garage. Let's see, she's probably 16. And so really wasn't the idea of qualifying for the games back then. She was just trying to stay fit and be healthy and go to high school and look good. And then we went down a road for about 2.5 years, 3 years where she was an Olympic weightlifter. And the whole goal with that was that she can CrossFit in the future. But it's just to get her competition, right? Get her on the podium, get her on the stage, competing in front of people and expedite that process. She didn't really grow up with a traditional kind of like sports background. So competition wasn't necessarily comfort zone for her. So getting her there, and she was a really good weightlifter. So we used that as an opportunity to get her competing more and more frequently. And then we got into CrossFit.
Did you see it when she first started? Were you like, this girl's got something special?
She definitely, yes. Well, we've seen it for years that this was not a matter for me. That was not a matter of if, it was just when.
Right.
She's got the work ethic, the skill, and a lot of maturity. I've watched her grow from a 16 to a 24-year-old. So there's been a lot of mental maturity as well. But I think that's what makes this so special too, is the fact that I do have an opportunity to work with a lot of athletes, but she's our first elite athlete to the games. Means a lot to me. She really is like a daughter to me. Yeah. Having been around and watched her grow, she's an amazing person on top of that. And that's what's fun about her.
She seems like a real sweetheart.
She is.
Is it, I've always been curious because, CrossFit gyms, because they're so expensive, there's very rarely, teenagers around.
Right.
And I've often wondered, like, how will these kids perform? Because I think of myself as a younger me, and I was way more mobile and flexible, and there were probably calisthenic-wise, I would have been able to, like, soar. But in some of these, like, heavy lifts and I mean, I was stronger too, probably, but the Olympic movements would have taken discipline. And so I wonder, and you've seen it now, how are these kids when they come in, or high school kids, do they take to it? Is it too complicated? You
get both ends of that spectrum, right? And so it is complicated. And I mean this with all due respect, but I feel like a lot of our female teens that come in end up picking up movement quicker than the guys. And that's not a blanket statement, but for the most part, we do see the female athletes pick up a lot of the Olympic lifting quicker. But the one thing they've got going for them is you also don't have a lot of kind of background noise, right? They haven't been doing stuff for that long. This might have been their first experience in fitness, or very limited experience in fitness. And so providing, the big word is they got to be coachable. If they're willing to listen and they don't let their ego get in the way, which is tough because you're usually dealing with teenagers, so it can go both ways there, right? And it's just the kind of the nature of the beast. But so we were all like that too. I don't know how coachable
I'm still uncoachable. Ask David Paradiso from Paradiso CrossFit. I go in there and he's like, he tells me what to do, and he's like, you're not going to listen, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm terrible.
I think I got less coachable over the years, which is not a good.
As my ego diminished, I got more and more coachable. I used to get upset when I would be working out and someone would walk up to me and just like tell me, I don't know why it used to irritate me. And now I'm like, please tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'd love to know. But that's because I realized when you first start, you think it's a deficiency of you. Whereas when you get older and do it for longer, you realize that those deficiencies are what's going to make you better when you figure them out. Right. And I think being, I was track, and I don't call him an athlete, but when I did that, I thought I was an athlete, and I came into CrossFit like, don't tell me I'm strong and fat. Like, and I didn't realize that it's like golf. That like a snatch is like a golf swing, and you can be, your thumb can be wrong, and you need to fix your thumb. And and so when people would try to coach me, I was like, how dare you? Like,
who are you? Who are you?
It was this. And I think that's with all sports and all anything that people are trying to do now. It's like, even like, look at something like MMA, how much you have to be coached. I mean, how much is instruction, and how much is, the best MMA fighter is going to beat the strongest guy in the world if he doesn't have those skills.
And those guys, you think like they usually specialize in something coming growing up, right? Now you're starting, as the sport's getting bigger, you're seeing more and more of those guys who have kind of like early on branched off into, but back in the day, it was like you were a wrestler, but you had to figure out how to go, box and grapple and like do a big world if you want to be good at the sport. Because the best wrestler, and the original, UFC, that was kind of their shtick, right? It was like a come watch a wrestler versus a,
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it was like, who's the toughest guy? I remember my roommate in college, so this is going back like 25 years, was like, hey, they got this thing in Michigan called the Tough Man, where the toughest guys go to like this. It was like a fight club, and
That's exactly.
they just get in the ring and they kill each other.
Yeah.
And he goes, and they all come from different backgrounds. Some are street fighters, some are
Right.
taekwondo, and it was like it was like
Yeah.
a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And
It's
so
exactly.
he had like this kid in his high school who was the most badass, toughest guy ever,
Yeah.
and he went and got knocked out in like 5 seconds. And we were like, "Oh my god, this thing's crazy."
This is real. This is real. They really,
Yeah.
they really. And that, well, like I was going back to now, you've got to be elite at so many different variables just to be good, or just to be decent at the sport. But it's definitely that it's interesting because it's that dynamic in CrossFit as well is something we talk about with all our athletes, but I focus on Michelle because obviously that's the one we're kind of working with the most right now. Is I don't necessarily need to be the best at everything. I got to be really good at everything. Right. You need to be very well rounded and cross that spectrum. And ultimately, you can go back and watch. Rich Froning won it in 2014 and won 0 events.
Yep.
Or I think Panchak just won the Granite Games and won 0 events to get his ticket to the game. Really consistent, really well executed weekend, and come out on top and sit on the podium and or win it, which is fantastic. That's the name of the game, and that's the sport, which I absolutely love.
Well, being that you're in Cornelius, Davidson area, where the where is it? Mooresville has like the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I noticed like out on the lake here, there's a couple NASCAR drivers' houses. Are any of those guys showing up and doing CrossFit?
So you'd be surprised. When we started in our garage, Ricky Stenhouse and Danica Patrick, they were dating back then. They actually were in our garage and with us for those first couple of years. We've had quite a few. Denny Hamlin's been at the old one. We've had
he lives out here on the lake. I see his house all the time.
I think his new house has or it's not new now anymore. It's like he's got a basketball court. It's full basketball court and basketball league that goes there. He doesn't need a gym. I think
he's got a go-kart track in there, and
yeah, I think he's got everything.
He's got a slide down. I mean, this lake is crazy. I go by on the jet skis. I see a guy lands his helicopter out here, and there's some crazy money down here.
Joe Gibbs is out there. Well, you guys out there. Jordan's out there. Like it's unreal to think some of the.
So Danica Patrick got really into CrossFit.
She did, yes.
And I think she lives where I live in Malibu.
I believe so, yes, yeah.
And when her and Aaron Rodgers, when they were dating, but she never came into CrossFit Malibu because I'm good buddies with Mike, who owns that. And I was like, hey, I'd love to have her on the show. And I've heard her on podcasts talk CrossFit. In fact, I mean, she might have had her own, and she had, I forget if she did one with Glassman or something. But I mean, I would love to talk to her, but she, I think she's out there, and I don't know where she works out, but
I'm not sure anymore. So it's been years. So she was here.
Was this when she was racing?
What's that?
Was it while she was racing?
Yeah. So she was racing. She was dating Ricky Stenhouse at the time. And so they're both racers. So they trained with the in the garage. And so something I always tell the boys to this kind of way, a little bit on the subject, but, I couldn't imagine growing up just the opportunities that my kids have now had to think that like you had Danica Patrick come in the house, like, cause it was a community here at the house. They were working in the garage. People come in, hang out, like to have that kind of stuff. He's been to, these kids have had the opportunity to go to professional football, soccer, hockey, baseball, go in dugouts, walk on fields, go in the weight rooms. I'm like,
don't take it for granted.
I feel very fortunate that I've been able to give them that as well. But it's just kind of cool for them to be able to look back in 20 years and realize how what they had.
I was surfing the other day in Malibu, not the other day, like a month or two ago, with a bunch of buddies, and one of them is a pro baseball player, and one of them one guy was with us that's like this like billionaire, like hedge fund guy, and I'm a comedian, and all of a sudden Laird Hamilton comes by, and I'm thinking like, this isn't real.
This life is pretty solid.
This is not real. And I always have to tell my kids that because we live in this weird bubble in Malibu that is strange. And I keep having to tell my kids that this is not normal and that you need to. And I meet kids that grew up in that, And I'm
Right.
like, did you? And they're like, it's all I knew.
Yeah.
It's all
It
I
becomes
knew.
new.
And I'm
It
like,
becomes kind of like, this is it, but it's not. Like, and so that's something we've done with the boys in particular is we once they got a little bit older is we traveled with them every summer, 10 days to 2 weeks. And we would get out and show them different cities, and you live in the city, you walk the city, and you want to see that our bubble is not anywhere close to the representation of the whole world, and get out. And that's from the respect of just seeing, especially if you're in New York City, you're in Seattle, you're in San Francisco, Boston, the multitude of cultures, and seeing true homeless people in front of you, and being able to witness like all this different versions of kind of life. That's something that was important to us for that exact reason, to be like, no, this bubble is awesome. I'm glad we have it. Don't take it for granted. But at the same token, you need to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah, I mean, my dad wanted us to go to public schools for that reason. I think we were in a position where he could have sent us to private schools, and he just said, like, that's not the real world. You need to learn to live in the real world. I'm thankful he did, because I've seen nieces and nephews in both situations.
Right.
And I've also seen, no offense to my private school friends, but I've seen the way, like, they can only, and this is no criticism to anyone else, it's just to my friends that were in private schools, they can only relate now to people that are in their kind of socioeconomic group or their kind of upbringing. They don't ever want to branch out of that. And I'm in a kind of life where I'm around everyone from every, and so I have to deal with people from every socioeconomic level. And I'm glad that I have that ability, and I'm not, like they are, and not to criticize them at all.
No, I understand what you're saying, but you have the skill set to be able to.
But even me, I'll never forget the first time I went to South Africa. Yeah. We landed and we went through those townships, and I was like, whoa, this is a whole nother level of poverty that I've never experienced. And I shot a documentary down there, and we had to go into the townships where everyone has AIDS, and they're, they don't have clean water. And I was just like, my head was spinning, and it really, really changed my perspective on the world. Like, I always like to say I'm a moderate now. I grew up a conservative. And when I started traveling the world and started going to places like Africa and places in the Middle East and Asia, I started to go, wow.
Become more realist, right? You start to see perspective.
I started to say, yes, I want to protect my family and I want to do these kind, but I also have some compassion and want to, think about others and not just myself.
Yeah. Realize,
So, and in saying that, all I do now is go tell dick jokes to them. So
it's your way of giving back to the world.
I really try to help those people by making them laugh at my dumb dick jokes.
Exactly. There you go. It works out.
So who's your prediction for, you obviously want Michelle to win.
The answer is easy. It's Michelle.
I think
she is, I like the role. She's kind of an unknown because she's coming out of Africa, because she's new to, we've done a few sanctionals, but she's relatively new to kind of the elite level competition scene. But yeah, my money is always going to be on her.
What are her strengths and weaknesses? What do we?
So her strengths is right between the ears. Oh, great! Super strong mentally. Also, probably on the top end from a strength standpoint, her numbers post up with some of the elite numbers.
Awesome.
On the strength side. So her competitiveness is one thing. So she shines as the stages get bigger. So every time, the open versus the game, she's going to be a much better version of herself. And ultimately, for her, some of it also, even though she's strong mentally, is just the confidence that I belong. And so understanding, that's something I told her she earned the right to be there, but realizing that you belong there, right? Like you are one of the 40 fittest women in the world. And once you see that, so Michelle's the type of athlete, you give her a little bit of confidence, it goes miles. And I think that goes a lot with a lot of female athletes. You see that as they tend to talk down to themselves. Again, I don't want to generalize that completely, but it's younger and even older female athletes that I work with. You'll see them put themselves down further and not realize how strong they are. And so empowering an athlete whether it's female or male, is massive to say, no, you can do this and you can do, you can accomplish X.
Well, with the older athletes, I think, this is just my opinion, the older athletes that have been there and done that, they see themselves move incrementally, and they almost see all the data points and go, this is what I've done, this is what I'm capable of doing, this is where I'll finish.
Right.
The younger athletes come on, and there's such an unknowing that's why you had Medeiros and Quant last year just come out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, because Quant was still
but relatively speaking, yes.
But all of a sudden, these guys are in the top 5.
Right,
and I think that could happen with her. And with, any of the girls or guys at these young ages, because they really don't know what they're capable of.
Agreed. 100%.
And the older ones do. The older ones know what they're capable of. Right. So they have a confidence of like, I'm going to – just any average CrossFitter knows that. Like, I know going in – and they go, okay, it's as many rounds as possible. And I'm like, I'm going to get about 4 rounds. I know.
You have better faith in yourself and understanding, kind of general awareness, right? Even on the elite level, right? It's just relative to where they're at on that scale. Right?
But these guys have just like hidden abilities, and all of a sudden they're going to get a PR they've never gotten. They're going to ride that adrenaline. You always got to watch out for the young ones. So
you do, and so you look at that. Whether you got Laura Horvath in 18, and you've got Ricky Gerard before that. Obviously he had some situations when he got tested, but each year you got somebody, and before that you had Vellner and all these guys first year of the games. That's why I said, why not? Never go into this. We don't use the word expectations, right? Because that's just a horrible word to use for any kind of sport event. Like, go in with confidence and understanding what as long as we execute and efforts there, we can't control that number. So negate the expectations, negate what number is going to be next to you. And typically things start to fall in your favor. And that was the mindset we took in Africa. Super consistent all weekend, best professionally executed weekend I've seen from her yet. And I think, so nothing outside the top 4. The last workout was basically a numbers game at that point. She was so far ahead. We basically said, she had gotten a stomach bug that morning.
Oh yeah, she told me about that.
She was so far, she had such a big lead. It was like, okay, we know who we need to stay ahead of. Right. This is the one person. Stay right there. So that was why she had, ultimately, we didn't necessarily execute like our normally would. We were just, it was like, hey, I need you to make sure you can make it through in one piece. Don't fall completely apart, but just stay with that particular athlete. As long as you're right there, we're walking away this weekend. You won. So
you do a lot of coaching, virtual coaching and stuff, right? Like, and programming. What's your company? What's your company's name?
So obviously the onsite's CrossFit Cornelius, and then On Up Athlete is our
On Up Athlete.
So we've always used the tag onward and upward basically since 2013, and so it was a natural flow for us to transition. We separated probably, let's say 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and the reason behind it was what we do at CrossFit Cornelius was very different than what we do with On Up Athletes. The same world slightly, but very, very different kind of desired outcome, right? It's general health and wellness. We walk in a gym. I don't need, my 78-year-old doing parallel handstand push-ups.
Right. So On Up Athlete is for competitive CrossFitters.
It's all virtual, correct. And that's our athletic side.
Are any of your guys seeing success when it comes to, are you anyone that you're going to be coaching that you think is going to be a games athlete?
So we've got a few people coming up. I've worked with Hillary Steele here for the last couple of years. I'm really excited about where things are going from her. She's a 5-time regional athlete, working on some strength things with her, and really excited to kind of see what she does. Now she's starting to put some pieces together. And I think this is going to be a big year for her next year.
Is that your specialty? Are you good with strength?
I tend to get some good results there. I feel like our overall, the competitive side as well. I think program design, when it comes to competitions, I get very, kind of goes back to the baseball mindset. I get very kind of wrapped up in it, very meticulous. And even from our day-to-day programming for our CrossFit class, and you've seen it, you notice how it's in there. I'm pretty meticulous with everything, kind of how I want like the structure to flow. So I think the overall program design is kind of where I specialize that. And then big thing for me is the relationships as well, kind of building those interpersonal relationships with these athletes. I have a pretty small team of athletes that I work with because I want to be able to talk to them like you and I are talking. I want to have that relationship. And so I feel like that's, for me, works better. As we've talked about many times already, having kids and gym and everything else, in order for me to spend time with anybody, it's got to be a pretty small team to get go. So, yeah, I think the overall program design, and then definitely the strength components definitely work well for me as well.
What who do you think on the guys' side? Who?
This is going to be a great year. I'm excited for it.
So am I, because it's finally, we're not going, oh, Matt and Tia. Well, we know Tia.
So I've been home with the baby a lot. I've been able to watch all those past documentaries, and it's been fun to go back. I haven't watched them in years, and so it's been fun to go back and watch like the 2015 games replay, the 16 replay, the 17 replay, and to watch even for those guys, when you think about Matt and you think about Tia, to watch their development as athletes as well, with them stepping into the scene and not because we think of them now of who they are right now and forget, that they had some adversity, had to overcome. We're fantastic athletes, but definitely had adversity to find their way to the top of the podium. And now they just dominated for the last few years. So the guy side, it'd be interesting. BKG is one of those guys who's always around. And then of course, you got the Canadians too. They're going to bring it. I don't know, man. I'm very intrigued to see.
I think you just said it, BKG or Vellner, but you can't count out the young guys.
No, I'm interested to see, Justin Medeiros. He did really well at the MAC, and it'd be interesting to see him.
And then there's that new guy that won the MAC.
Yes, out of Columbia.
Yes.
So he's
the one that Castro basically said is the next Froning Fraser.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
What's his name? Is it Snow? Is his last name Snow?
No, I'm trying to think. Shoot, I forget. Michelle and I were just talking about, because he's down in Columbia. Yeah, we were going to reach out to him next year about potentially doing some training. So he's really, really close to us.
Wait, I'm gonna.
But to watch what he did at the MAC, especially against the level of competition that was there, was pretty. I respect his game, man. Went out and executed extremely well. So
I can't believe I can't remember his name. I don't know why I thought it was Snow. No. He's good.
Yeah.
He's going to be here. I'll Google it. I'll find it. I can't leave the listeners hanging. They're like, who are you talking about?
They're all yelling right now.
Half of them are yelling right now going, you idiot. You idiot.
Wait, you're a CrossFit coach and you can't. No.
Yes. All I got to do, Columbia.
He's down at.
Wait, we just didn't look up MAC champion.
Yeah, MAC champion. Yeah.
CrossFit.
And I apologize if you ever saw this. It's like you guys didn't know my.
Here he is. Mac Atlet. There's the baby.
She's talking. She's been great.
Oh God, it doesn't have it. Let's see. Results. Doesn't have it.
I got it. I got you.
You found it?
I got it right here. Let's go semifinals. I got it. Cause I have it permanently pulled up. Let's see. MAC. We got this.
Is it MACC?
Jason Hopper.
Why was I saying Justin Snow? Yeah, Jason Hopper is going to be the one to watch.
I think so. He was, like I said, massive. He had a great showing out there. And you've got like the Travis Mayers, you've got the Pancheks, you've got guys that are all, can and potentially will stay. You know who was really impressive too was, and he's been around for a while. He's been around for a long time. It's Cole Sager.
Yeah.
Out at the West Coast. He did fantastic out there. And he's always kind of sits around that podium to about 10th place. He's just, and a fantastic athlete to begin with. And you never know. I think he's a new dad as well. So maybe that spurs him along to have that dad power, and
that either strips you. That's either kryptonite.
There's two ways it can go.
It's kryptonite or it can light your fire.
I think my trajectory went like that.
I would say so too. That means you're good. That means you're a good dad usually.
I pay attention to him now.
That's what happened to me with my comedy. I'm like, I can travel around the world making people laugh, or I can raise these two kids. And I said to my promoter one time, she's like, I feel like I'm failing at everything. She's like, you're a father. She's like, you're gonna fail for the next 5 years. She's like,
literally was telling my 13-year-old, I was like, I had no idea what to do with you, bud. I still don't. I've had 3 of you guys. I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm still figuring this out day to day, guys. So I completely can relate and understand that you just do the best. I'm trying to figure out day to day, make sure I don't screw them up too badly, to make sure I don't screw the gym up too badly. And
well, your gym, I can tell you, your gym is excellent. Thanks for having me there. It is an amazing gym.
Oh.
And from the first time I walked into, you guys couldn't have been nicer to me. So welcoming, like a beautiful gym and such a nice area. And you're like so lucky to have it. You've done a great job. Michelle, good luck to her. She is such a nice person, and I love talking to her. And she was a good coach too, really good coach.
She is. That's what makes her so special. Just a great human being. I'm fortunate to have her as a full-time coach for me as well. And unbelievable. Because you saw the interpersonal skills are.
She's great.
Off the charts.
She's great. Everyone at your gym, so nice and so welcoming. So if you're ever in the area, check out CrossFit Cornelius. It's just such a beautiful area and such a nice gym. And to you, good luck with those 3. Get yourself a snoo. And
if anything I'm taking from this, the snoo is happening. I'm texting Kristen.
I don't think right now I'm going to the games. I got to get myself healthy. But I was going to go, and now I don't think I'm going to go. I can't jump on more planes.
So if you make it out there, if you do, we'll be out there. Make sure you shoot me a text.
I will definitely. Good luck. And again, let's plug your programming for anyone that wants to check it out.
So it's On Up Athlete, and you can find us on Instagram if you look up On Up Athlete, and shoot us a message through there and kind of find out a little bit more about what we do on a day-to-day basis. So.
Well, I appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
And, you too, man, always.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention one thing that I'm looking forward to next year, the Ricky Gerard comeback. I almost can't wait for these games to be.
I'm excited for it.
I can't wait for these games to be over so that we can start all the arguing and bickering and watch people lose their minds.
They're gonna lose their shit. They will. I promise you. There's gonna be 2 camps. There's gonna be massive.
I can only pray he makes the games.
I do too. So I'm 100% on board.
So that people lose their minds.
Yes, Yes. So that is our goal. Hey, Ricky, if you're listening, if there's anything we can do to help make that happen.
Yeah. Well, Ricky, if you're listening, don't dodge my calls and don't dodge. I was driving to Wollongong one night to go meet him, and I get a call he won't do the show. So, yeah, Wollongong, Australia. I went all the way there to get him, and he, the last minute, we're not going to do it. And so, Ricky, stop ducking us.
Stop dodging. We're on your team.
Do the show, Ricky. We're looking forward to you being in the CrossFit Games. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, Mike, thank you so much. It's a
it,
pleasure meeting you, talking to you. Thanks for doing the show. And everybody listening, you guys know what to do. Rate, review, comment. Check out the Patreon, everything. My tour schedules at eddyif.com. And again, thanks, Mike.
You got it, brother. Thank you, man.